Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Thank you so much for taking the time to stop by. On this channel, I give new agents tips and tricks on how to go about navigating this beautiful industry that we call real estate. Today, we're doing something a bit more different. We're doing a tutorial on how to manage the economic model. All right, I learned about this in Gary Keller's book, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. So this spreadsheet, I'll walk you guys through it. I'll share my screen with you. And if ever you want a copy of this, all you do is you hit me up in the comment section, and then we'll figure out a way to get in contact with each other. But I hope you enjoy this. This is super useful stuff for me, especially when I want to set a goal for any period of time, whether that's for New Year's resolution or a new quarter or a new month. This spreadsheet here boils down to how many contacts I need to make per day in order to win. I hope you enjoy it. Today we'll be covering something a bit more different. It is the economic model, or how you can break down your goals from a gross commission objective all the way down to contacts needed per day. So I've been using this for years, for about a little over 10 years now. Whenever I find myself missing any type of motivation, clarity on what I want to go and do as far as prospecting activities, lead generation activities, I always find it very useful to do one of these economic models. And yeah, you're probably going to want to do one of these at the start of the year, right? So for New Year's resolution. But there's nothing wrong doing this every single month or every quarter in order to really break down what your goals are, and also what you need to do as far as contacts per day in order to achieve them. So the gross commission income, let me just correct that. Anyways, typo, doesn't matter. What you want to do is you want to figure out how much money you want to make that year, right? And once you have that amount, let's say we want you to make $120,000. Okay, in your first year of real estate, or whenever, doesn't really matter. All these things in blue here, you need to input them as data, right? And I'll give you some numbers that make sense, but it really depends on you and your marketplace and how much you charge for commission. So your real estate agent, it's your first year, and it would be a crazy good year for you if you made an extra $120,000. Cool, that is a very good goal to have. What's the average price of the homes that you're going to sell? Not the average price of the homes in your market. Here in my market, houses are going for around $450, $460, but my average price range is closer to $525. In your market, houses might be selling in an average of $300, but you want to target a specific area because it's near where and it's going to be $400,000. Who knows? But for today's demonstration, I will just use a simple amount, $200,000 average price range. Okay, what is your average commission rate? Well, most agents will charge 5% and they'll keep 2.5, but sometimes we need to discount. So if we need to discount once in a while and we end up averaging 2.25, that's okay. And we can see here the data is starting to fill in, right? Now, we've got the average price, we've got the average commission, and here we have the average commission amount. Here we have average price on selling. Selling means on the buying end, and average price on listing end. Okay, simple enough. So what's the percentage of buyers and what's the percentage of listings that you'll do? So I'll assume you're a new agent. You really don't know what your strengths are yet. So you're going to do 50-50 business. So you're going to need to generate $60,000 on the buying commission and $60,000 on the listing commission. See how beautiful that is? 60,000, average price range of 200, average commission of 2.25 for an average commission income of 4,500. What is your split with the team? Now, if you've got a split with the team of 50-50, then it's going to increase the number of deals that you're going to need to do in order to walk away with that type of money. So let's just put in 100. I'm going to assume that you're working on your own for now, but if you do have a split with a team, come back and put it in here, okay? If you're in a 50-50, it would be 50 here. Whatever you keep, okay? If it's 60-40, 60 to you, then 60 would go in here, okay? I hope this all makes sense so far. So, look at that. 13 deals on both sides, so that's good for 26 deals. All right? Okay, so I don't typically sign buyer agencies like a lot of agents do. What I do is I like to identify people that are committed to me. We'll talk about that in other videos down the road, but I'm not a huge fan of sitting somebody down in the office and having them sign a buyer agency. I've lost too many opportunities with great buyers that way. But me going out, showing them a house, getting the feel if they're a committed buyer to me or not, has proven me right more times than not. And I feel like I've gained more opportunities handling my business that way than the 2 times that I've gotten burned by buyers that did not end up working with me because I didn't have the protection of that buyer agency contract right from the get-go. So I don't say buyers signed, I say buyers committed, okay? So let's say you have a buyer and they're committed to you. What's the percentage of time that they'll end up buying a house? Well, if you've got a good radar for what a committed buyer is, you should be able to handle 75% closing ratio on the buyers that are committed to you. So that means you'll need 17.78 buyers, or rounded up to 18. I haven't met anybody that's 0.78 of a person, so this would be 18, but we'll leave it like this for now, okay? From the buyer appointments that you will go on, what is the percentage that will end up liking you and you liking them? Well, you're taking this type of training right now. You're obviously interested in developing your skills, so I've got no reason to believe that you're not going to be very good at forming relationships with these buyers. So 3 out of 4, 75% you will end up working with, meaning that for the entire year, you will need 23.7 or 24 buyer appointments, okay? Now we'll come back to these numbers after. For now, let's go complete the listing side of things. Okay, here, list to sold ratio. Very easy. This is when you list a property, what percentage of the time will you end up selling a property? So if you list 10 properties and you sell 8, I'm going to give you 80%. Okay, so you'll need to sign 17 listings. Close listing appointments percentage-wise, meaning if you go on 10 listing appointments, how many will you close? Listings are a bit more difficult to close compared to buyers, and I'm still assuming that you're a newer agent, but you are interested in training. You are looking at this video, obviously, so you're probably going to be getting the deal more times than you're not, so I'm putting you at 60%. You need to go on 28 listing appointments, okay? Isn't that cool how the numbers fill in? So it's only the blue boxes that you need to fill in. Okay, let's go back to the buyer appointments. 23.7 buyer appointments per year. And here I've got numbers of weeks worked. We are not going to work 24/7. It does not work. You will hate your life and you won't have the fuel to finish the year. Trust me, I've tried it. It does not work. So, in other videos, we've talked about taking time with your family before you book in the business time. I like to look at every start of the year, say, okay, we're going on vacation here and there. And also, I am not going to work over Christmas. I'm going to take a week off around April, March, April, around Easter, that time of the year. And then So I'm putting in 48 weeks work. Okay? Pretty simple. Get 4 weeks off an entire month. So the buyer appointments needed per week, we've got 0.49. No, I understand that 0.49 buyer appointments per week does not make sense. But if you've got the 0.49 per week here, it means that you could go 1 week where you don't have one and another week where you do. So that's why we have the 0.49 here. So how many contacts do you need to make in order to get one buyer appointment? I'm going to put 20 here, okay? So 49 multiplied by 20 means that you need to make 9.87 contacts per week on the buying effort of things in order to achieve your goal at the end of the year, all right? Makes sense? Same thing here on the listing side. You need 0.58 listing appointments per week, and you're going to need to make 20 contacts in order to get one listing appointment, meaning that you need to do 11.57 contacts per week in order to get those listing appointments. I know these are a lot of numbers, but trust me, it makes a bit more sense when you look at it at the end, okay? So contacts per week, you need to make 21.45, so round it up to 22. And how many days are you working per week? I already told you that I am giving myself Sundays off, so we'll do 6. Sorry about the notification there. So that means that you need to do 3.58 or 4 contacts per day. Now, what's a contact? A contact for me is somebody that you know, like, and trust. You're gonna write them a letter, you're gonna shoot them a text, you are going to send them something of value, an email, you're gonna give them a call, you're gonna, just call them up and say, hey, I noticed this property listed on your street. Isn't it crazy what the market's doing right now? Give them something of value, okay? Now, once you have a database of, let's say, 100 people, you won't be annoying going back to 4 people per day, 6 times a week, right? Because it'll be a while until you get to contact them again. And the point here is you always have to have something of value. We've talked about this in my lead generation tactic for less than $10. That's a very good idea. Go listen to that video if you're curious about what I consider an item of value is. But here it is. You want to make $120,000, then you need to make 3.5 contacts per day if you're going to work 6 days a week. Let's say you want to make $200,000. Well, then you need to make 6 contacts per day. 500,000. You need to make 15 contacts per day, right? And there's nothing to stop you here from hiring a buyer agent or a listing agent, to help you with all this stuff. But be careful. It works best when your people hear from you. So we got it here at 200,000. 6 contacts per day. So here's my economic model. If you guys want a copy of this spreadsheet, it would be my pleasure to send it off to you. I find it super useful to reset whenever I finish a period of the year. I say, okay, well, for the next 3 months, I want to make 60,000, and that's for only 12 weeks, right? So then it breaks down. Here we go. 60,000 in 12 weeks. I want to make at least 7.1 contacts per day. All right? Isn't that funny how that works? Pretty cool. I love this thing, and like I said, if you guys want a copy of this, let me know. It'll be my pleasure to send you a Google Drive copy of this spreadsheet. It's not too hard to put together, but it's nice to have it done already. Okay, guys, well, have a great day, and I will be back tomorrow with some more tips and tricks for new real estate agents. Talk to you soon. Ciao.